Good morning, Emerson. French authorities have foiled another terror plot in Paris. We'll have the latest details, including a new threat from ISIS.
And fall is just about to have its grand finale, so travel correspondent Ruby Vishnik will be showing you some of the best fall activities in Boston to go out with a bang before winter.
All that and more today, Thursday, November 19th. I'm Anthony Monzon.
And I'm Amelia Fabiano. Anthony, I'm super excited for our musical guest today. We have the Blake Bird Band in studio.
That's right. He'll be performing High School Sweetheart, which should be an exciting time. And we'll also have Alice Lynch, our tech correspondent, in for a little tech demo, of course. And she'll be showing us some good Christmas gifts because nobody likes being that disappointing family member on Christmas. But first, we do have a headline story coming out of France. French authorities took the offensive Wednesday, raiding an active ISIS cell in a Parisian suburb. It started with gunshots echoing in the middle of the night and ended with 2 dead in addition to 8 ISIS militants in French custody. Heavily armed police entered the purported Islamic State hideout in the suburb of Saint-Denis at 4:20 in the morning. Authorities came under heavy fire, including one militant who exploded herself mid-raid. Intelligence officials were tipped off to the location after intercepting a phone conversation indicating ringleader Abdelhamid Aboud may have been at the location. New this morning, French officials have confirmed Aboud was amongst the dead in the explosion. We're joined now by news correspondent Sam Benson-Smith. Now, Sam, what can you tell us about the new details being released this morning on Aboud's death?
Thanks, Anthony. The new information that was released today is that, yes, in fact, DNA has confirmed that Aboud did die in the raid. There were 8 arrests. But I will be focused on it a bit more later about the state of emergency, which allows the French police to raid during these periods of time because civil liberties are suspended. Over 5,000 rounds of munitions were shot or were fired during the raid. Obviously, it was very loud. There was a lot of response from local French people saying that it was very clear that there was something happening in the Saint-Denis neighborhood. But yes, there's DNA confirmation, 8 arrests. And it looks like the French police are still searching for additional accomplices, as well as some bomb makers and other people that work logistically speaking on the Paris attacks.
All right, and Sam, the French Parliament is in quite the debate right now over the state of emergency that they are in. Tell us more about that.
Yesterday, the French Parliament convened along with President François Hollande to discuss a potential amendment to the country's constitution. The change would be made to allow the president the right to suspend civil liberties during a state of emergency without approval from Parliament. A 12-day state of emergency was declared following the terrorist attacks in Paris on Friday. Yesterday, President Obama arrived in Manila for the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit. Not long after arrival, the president held a press conference discussing a major international point of contention, China's expansion into the South China Sea. President Obama weighs in on the U.S.'s plans to aid the Philippines in its opposition to China.
We intend to transfer 2 additional ships to the Philippine Navy. A research vessel to help map its territorial waters, and another U.S. Coast Guard cutter to bolster the Navy's ability to conduct long-endurance patrols.
This press conference comes several weeks after ships from the U.S. Navy made near passes on the contended islands to reemphasize the U.S.'s intentions in the region. In a state normally known for its relative religious and political homogeneity, a great historical first. On Tuesday, Salt Lake City, Utah elected Jackie Biskupski as the city's first openly gay mayor. Biskupski earned 52% of the vote and defeated 2-term incumbent Ralph Becker. Salt Lake City has proven to be an adamant liberal pocket in a largely conservative state. A Republican has not been elected mayor of Salt Lake City in over 4 decades. Following the police shooting death of Jamar Clark on Sunday, protests have continued to grow in Minneapolis. Yesterday, the Minneapolis Police Department identified the officers involved in the shooting and have stood by their claim that the use of force was justified. Hundreds of protesters have been marching on major roads in the city, chanting "Justice for Lamar" and "Handcuffs, don't shoot." The second chant refers to the claim by protesters that Mr. Clark was shot while he was restrained by handcuffs. No footage of the shooting has been released by the police or any witnesses. And that's all I have for you guys today. Anthony and Amelia, back to you.
Thanks so much, Sam. Now, it's getting chilly here in the city of Boston, and that's without the fun of the baby back ribs.
Oh, is that a Chili's reference?
that may be a Chili's reference. I've never been so hungry for a weather toss before. But weather reporter Medina Shehi is here in studio with an update on the latest local temps. Medina?
Thanks, Anthony and Amelia. The weather is not freezing today. Can you believe it has been in the 30s and low 40s so far? I am definitely not ready for that, and I am even from Massachusetts. Today will be a beautiful high of 54 degrees, which is why I'm wearing a skirt. We need to take advantage of somewhat good weather here in Boston, don't we? It will be cloudy with occasional showers in the afternoon, but all I'm thinking about is the higher degrees. Tonight, the temperature will decrease with a low of 52 degrees. The wind will increase greatly, which will make the night inevitably chillier. Rainfall is going to be around ½ inch, so stay indoors tonight unless you want to start singing in the rain. Tomorrow, we'll have a similar high as today, with being 56 degrees, but the temperature will significantly decrease to 36 degrees tomorrow night. There will be showers in the morning, as well as partly cloudy skies in the afternoon, but the night will be clear. Throughout the week, the temperatures slowly decrease and decrease. This is how we slowly get to wearing hats and gloves. Saturday will be partly cloudy, while Sunday will accompany Thursday and Friday's rainy days. However, Monday will start off next week with a clear, sunny day. This week will get you jumping in rain puddles while breaking out your winter jacket. Here comes the cold, everyone, and this is a slow torture creeping before the snow. Let's learn to love it. Well, that's all I have for you today. Thanks for tuning in, and let's get back to Anthony and Amelia.
Thanks, Medina. Well, unfortunately, we have to take a quick break, but when we come back, Alice Lynch will be joining us in studio to show us how we can shop for those tech lovers in our life. So stick around. Welcome back, and thanks for waking up with us. Tech guru Alice Lynch now joins us in studio to kickstart our holiday shopping inspiration. How are you doing today?
Doing good. How you guys doing?
Pretty good.
I'm not doing too bad.
All
But
right, well-
let's get to the tech.
All right, let's get to the tech. Well, I gotta say, if you guys are anything like me, your families are finally calling you and asking, what do you want for Christmas? Give me your list. And they don't want to hear money anymore. So if you're looking for a quick way to satisfy your parents, got a couple ideas for you. First up is a charging cell phone case. These are not too expensive at probably about $25, $30 a pop, depending on where you get them and what kind of phone you want. You can get them at IKEA, at Walmart, at pretty much any basic tech place, Best Buy. What's gonna happen is you take your little iPhone and plug it in deep. Then you take this, attach the case, and a simple press of the button,
You're ready to go.
and you are ready to go, charging up, ready to take on the day.
Styling and profiling right there.
Hello,
huh?
got to class it up a little bit.
And functional. So as far as battery power goes, how does this compare to the iPhone's battery power? Is it just as bad? And is it just kind of providing you with a second bad battery
If you're
power?
able, if you can get it in and plug it, charge it fully ahead before you use it, you can get up to 80% battery life
Oh,
back.
wow.
So yeah, it's basically like having your iPhone right back there with you and not having to
Excellent.
find an outlet in that whatever room you're in.
That definitely
Now-
comes in
So-
handy.
And for those with Androids, for whatever reason, I mean,
me about it.
are there similar options for Android phones?
Absolutely, there's a ton of options depending on, again, which model you get. Sometimes they run a little more expensive just because there's not as many of them and not many companies are fighting to make models for them. It's not as big a seller, but still definitely options, sometimes a little closer to $40, but absolutely your Samsungs, your Androids, your Blackberries, you're covered.
Even wow.
Yeah,
Blackberries,
tell me.
All
Going way
well
back there.
So once you've settled that in, the next major option I have is a little chargeable mouse you can put in.
Pretty nifty, huh?
Yeah, I gotta say, I don't know if you guys have had the same problems I have, but definitely sometimes you're trying to do a project and for whatever reason, the little guy is just not cutting it for you.
Yes. Project.
Project.
Schoolwork.
Oh, Anthony.
School show. And so what you do is you get a little tiny little niblet of a USB guy and you just pop it in wherever you are, flip the little switch to on underneath,
Okay.
and then you are good to go. Nice and
Well, look at
sensitive,
that.
click on whatever you want, and you're ready to have at it.
Yeah, I'm surprised there's absolutely no lag time on that. It's
No.
basically like using a normal attached mouse,
Oh,
which is pretty
absolutely, the
impressive.
instant you go.
Now, in terms of, again, a lot of times you see on Black Friday, a lot of tech items just fly off the
Yeah, they do.
shelves. Do you think this is an item that may be available for people that maybe aren't going for the Xbox one or whatever it is?
Oh, absolutely. I think these are widely available. They have ones for your normal laptops, and they also have ones for iPads or tablets, whatever you're looking for. These These are reasonably cheap already. I mean, I got mine for about $20 at Best
wow.
Buy. Right now I've seen some on sale for as low as $7 or $8. Absolutely, instantly
awesome.
usable. And yeah, pretty much everyone has them available, and not a lot of people think to go get them, but absolutely a lifesaver when you're trying to
Perfect
soup
gift
this
for
guy
your,
up.
for your granddaughter or
Yeah.
grandson somewhere in the world.
Somewhere in the family.
Not too expensive either, so that's really convenient as well. You can kind of get it for anyone.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've got all sorts of customizable options and colors, and it's all ready to go.
Perfect, perfect. And can you store this little thing?
Oh, absolutely. I just keep it in a drawer below with the mouse, and no
Excellent.
problem. Pull it out, attach it in, you're good to go.
All right.
All right, perfect. Well, thanks so much for being here today,
Thank you
Alice,
for having me.
and for giving me some Christmas tips. God knows I need it.
Anytime. Please tell me about it.
He's going to go crazy now. Some big news coming out of the sports world today. The Houston Rockets fired coach Kevin McHale after the team was reportedly not working well with him. The decision to let him go got quite a response off of social media as well, although most things seem to nowadays. Sean Stackhouse is here to fill you in on the details. Sean?
All right, thanks, guys. Yes, yesterday the Houston Rockets parted ways with head coach Kevin McHale after a 4-7 start to the season. Assistant coach J.B. Bickerstaff will fill in as the interim head coach while the Rockets search for a permanent replacement. McHale was 193 and 130 in 5 seasons as head coach in Houston. He was in the first year of a 3-year extension worth over $12 million as well. Houston currently sits at 11th in the Western Conference and have lost 4 straight games. And the Raiders' defensive end Aldon Smith has been suspended for 1 year for violating the National Football League's substance abuse policy. The day Smith was signed to the Raiders on a 1-year deal, he pleaded not guilty to a misdemeanor on counts of hit and run, drunken driving, and vandalism from an incident earlier in the year. Smith will be eligible to apply for reinstatement. However, that can only happen 60 days before his suspension would end. After the suspension, the Raiders said in a statement that Smith had been a positive addition to the team and that they see him in the team's plans for the future. And sticking with football, tonight the Tennessee Titans and the Jacksonville Jaguars face off in a matchup nobody is anticipating. The two teams have a combined record of 5-13. Now, you may be wondering, why is it even worth talking about this game? Well, if the Jaguars win this game, they could be tied for the lead in the atrocious AFC South. Yes, you heard that right. There could be a team with a 4-6 record leading a division after this week. So, who am I picking to win this matchup? Easy. The Titans. Who wants to see a 3-way tie for first place? Give me some Marcus Mariota to Delaney Walker action. Kickoff for that game will be tonight at 8:30. And it was announced yesterday that legendary slugger David Ortiz will retire after the 2016 season. Big Papi has been a Red Sox since 2003, has appeared in 9 All-Star games, has won 3 World Series, and is statistically the greatest DH to ever play the game. Let's take a trip down memory lane to see the best highlights of Ortiz's career. Got everything in 4x3. Ortiz blasts one in Game 4 of the ALCS in the 12th inning. That was to save the series. And now in Game 5 of 2004, this is in the 14th inning. He gets the walk-off double. Johnny Damon scored. Here we are now in 2013. Ortiz against the Tigers in the ALCS blasts when the Sox go on to win the World Series that year. But even more exciting was the happy cop working in that bullpen. Ortiz had an incredible career, and I'm definitely sad to see him go. Anthony Amelia, back to you.
Thanks, Sean. Now, friendly reminder, fall is ending, which means the countdown to do all those quintessential fall things that give those awesome profile pictures is counting down. Travel reporter Ruby Vishnik took a tour around Boston to check out some of the last remaining autumnal activities still around. Let's take a look.
Hi, I'm Ruby, your Brit in Boston, and today we're going to be exploring the best fall-themed activities to do in the city. Let's go! So here we are at the Arnold Arboretum of Harvard University. Established in the late 1800s, it is home to 265 acres of land and is a National Historic Treasure. It is a unique blend of a respected research institution and a beloved public park. It is free and open year-round to the public and is absolutely stunning on a day like today when the leaves are changing for fall. Public Market, where we have apple cider and other farm-related treats, giving us a sweet insight into New England's tradition of apple picking. The market is the perfect place to spend a nice autumnal day like today. We're here on the streets to ask a couple people what their favorite fall activity in Boston is.
Well, obviously apple picking is a must, and other than that though, just like walking around and admiring, the foliage in the park and just getting a nice cup of coffee.
So what is your favorite fall activity?
My favorite fall activity is probably ice skating.
Just walking in the commons, just enjoying the nice weather, not too hot, not too cold.
Very nice.
Beautiful, seeing the leaves fall and everything like that.
Shopping. I love shopping. Since I'm not from here, Boston is like a beautiful place to wear scarves, leggings, boots, and that's my style.
Definitely agree.
I like to rock climb a lot. I do it all year though, also because it's just, I'm on a team and I have a lot of fun doing it.
Very cool. Do you have a favorite run?
In fall, I like to jump in leaf piles.
I would have to say hibernating in my dorm room and hiding from everyone else.
So happy to be out of the cold and sipping my pumpkin spice latte. I hope you take our advice and visit two of the best fall activities in the city. Next time I see you, we'll be in the depth of the festive season, and I'm so excited to see the city then. Bye!
I'm now joined by the ladies of GME to talk about a more pressing issue happening in the world right now. Ladies, thank you for joining me this morning. So Paris, the terror happening in Paris obviously is a major focus in the world right now, but also something that's kind of really been brought to light from it is the Syrian refugee crisis. Obviously, a recurring issue in the past, but specifically after everything happening in Europe, it's really coming to light right now. So specifically in the U.S. has been having not the most positive response to it. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I think that this issue really divides our country, which is kind of, irritating and sad, and we all have our opinion on this matter, but a lot of votes are in favor of keeping these refugees out of our country, which is unfair. And I feel like this kindness has been shown to us in previous instances, and also in the future may as well be. So I feel like we are not necessarily being as open and as giving and allowing, people who are in distress to come into this country. And I don't think that it's being discussed enough because all eyes are on Paris, rightfully so, but other things are happening in our country.
That's right. And in reference to that, over 30 U.S. governors have said no to allowing Syrian refugees to seek refuge in their states. So that leaves, not a whole lot left. And France recently had a response to this as well, and they're accepting over 30,000 refugees, even in light of the attacks that's happening, which I think is something maybe
just shows such a side of humanity that
Right.
why can't we tap into that as well?
Right. So tell us about why the U.S. is a little bit hesitant, I guess, as to why to accept refugees for those of us that don't understand.
I think it has a lot to do with ignorance. I am Muslim, and when I was younger, I remember this boy came up to me and said, "Oh, you're Muslim, you love Osama bin Laden, right?" And I showed my friend once a traditional Islamic prayer, and she said, "I think in high school I've been taught to hate this, that I've been taught to be scared, because I'm scared to listen to this, but it sounds beautiful anyway." So I think it's just this ignorance and not understanding that America was built on immigration and refugees coming in, and it's something that they don't understand. It's just an ongoing struggle in history, and all you're doing is backlashing on people that aren't even doing anything wrong. So.
One of the most shocking statistics I've heard recently is that of the 780,000 refugees from the area we've had over since 9/11, only 3 have actually been arrested on terrorism charges, 3 of 780,000, which is mind-blowing. And it's sort of a little scary when you look at some of the old statistics with the U.S. not wanting to take, Jewish refugees during World War II and the Holocaust. And it's a little scary sort of to see history repeating itself in the same way. Definitely.
You would think that we'd progress at this point. It's not like we're letting in just inherently bad people. Not all people who are foreign or other are bad. That's astonishing to me as well. I mean, we're going to be putting these people through obvious protocol to come into the country. It's not like
Right.
we're opening a
Just
floodgate
letting
and
them flood in.
yeah, absolutely.
There's
So we will
definitely
take precautions.
Obviously, going to be a lot harder focus on letting them into the country if that were to happen. Of course, I think also going back to your point about ignorance, it said, a lot of it's just rationalizations about a group of people that clearly need help, and I think the U.S. is concerned about protecting itself in this,
Yes.
but sometimes we just have to think about the greater good for humanity. So we have to take a quick break, unfortunately. Thanks for joining me today, ladies. But when we return, entertainment correspondent Ashley Lachant will be here to tell us again all about a recent shocking announcement made by Charlie Sheen. Stick around.
Welcome back to Good Morning Emerson. Charlie Sheen had a big announcement earlier this week telling the Today Show that he is HIV positive. Entertainment reporter Ashley Lachant has the story.
Of course, I've got you covered, guys. Charlie Sheen has revealed that he is HIV positive in an interview with the Today Show. Sheen revealed that he was diagnosed a year ago and that this very public announcement was made in an attempt to end extortion efforts. He has paid an upwards of $10 million to keep this secret. Since the diagnosis, Sheen claims he's entering a more thoughtful and reflective phase in his life, approaching a more philanthropic way to live the rest of his years. Sheen has also stated that he will not be the poster man for HIV, but he will no longer turn away from responsibilities and opportunities that allow him to help others. Caitlyn Jenner believes that the hardest part of being a woman is figuring out what to wear. After accepting Glamour's Award for Women of the Year, Caitlyn Jenner made a speech that prompted director and actress Rose McGowan to speak back in a bitingly unapologetic Facebook post. While the reality TV star Jenner is doing her courageous part in bringing history to the trans community and the everyday light, she's not doing enough, argues McGowan. You want to be a woman and stand with us, McGowan says. Well, learn us. We are more than stereotypes forced upon us by people like you. You're a woman now? Well, learn that we have had a very different experience than your life of male privilege. Every year, People magazine unveils its coveted list of the most beautiful faces in Hollywood and crowns its sexiest man alive, which has become a revered title over the years. David Beckham has been appointed the title of Sexiest Man Alive for People magazine's 30th anniversary issue. The British athlete, father, and husband to Posh Spice turned fashion mogul Victoria Beckham says that this is the best moment of his career. The announcement was made on Jimmy Kimmel Live, and Beckham joins the ranks of fellow sexiest people alive Johnny Depp and Adam Levine. Not too shabby. There's been much buzz surrounding the Wonder Woman movie, which will be the rope-slinging heroine's first solo picture ever. The world got its first sneak peek of actor Chris Pine suited up in World War I-inspired garb for the film in a photo that surfaced online. The photo was originally uploaded to a co-star's Instagram account and removed since. Spoiler alert, the development of this film has pretty much been under wraps. Alongside Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, Pine is to play Steve Trevor. It's rumored that Pine may portray more than just one character in the film, but there's plenty of time to speculate before the picture's release in 2017. And that's all I've got for you today. Back to Anthony and Amelia.
Thanks, Ashley. We're here in studio, and we've got Blake Bird, or The Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance. Wrong Bird. We've got Blake Bird here in studio, and he's going to play us a few tunes. So what's this first one you've got for us?
This first one is called High School Sweetheart. It's off the debut record.
All right, perfect. We'll let you take it away.
Halloween and I asked her out. I was dressed up just like a clown. Later on she says, when you take that up, we can be those high school sweethearts. Christmas came, I had all I need. No chance in asking for anything. But now it's spring, yet I turned 18. The times had changed, they were all about me. 'Cause here I am, all alone, watch as this simple story unfolds. Before I made us fall apart, I forgot we could have been high school sweethearts. money, but I spelled M-E. It's a promenade, lousy. But now it's summer, best time of the year. My blind eyes made it disappear. We're going down at a real quick pace. She just smiled and give me grace. So when I knew she didn't deserve me, she needed someone for eternity. 'Cause here I am, all alone, watching as this simple story unfolds. Before our eyes fall apart, I forgot we could have been high school sweethearts. Here I am, all alone, watch as this simple story unfolds. For a minute, fall apart. I forgot we could have been high school sweethearts. She tried to warn me as she walked away. Did you act together before your next day? For all you know, the next could be the one. Well, 2 years later, and there haven't been none. Uh-oh, 'cause here I am, all alone, watch as this simple story unfolds. Before I made us fall apart, I forgot we could have been high school sweethearts. 'Cause here I am, all alone, watch as this simple story unfolds. Before I made us fall apart, I forgot we could have been high school sweethearts. 2 years later, I sit writing this song. When it how did she been here all along? But one day she'll sit in the crowd.
There you go, Blake Bird, fresh off his performance at South by Southwest. Thanks so much for being here today.
Thank you. Well, that's all the time we have for this week, unfortunately. Make sure you follow us on social media, as always.
That's right. And again, Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is, we're on it. Have a good one. Catch us back here next Tuesday.